All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Clark Art Talks. I'm Kendra Larson. I'm the Archer Gallery Director and Arts Talks Coordinator here at Clark. Um, this will be recorded, just so you know, and there will be questions at the end. So if you have any questions while Danny is speaking today, you're welcome to put those, type them in the chat. Today we are super lucky to have the wonderful Dani Bowman here to speak about her work. Um, sorry. Dani Bowman founded her company, DaniMation Entertainment, at age 11. She has worked professionally in the animation industry since 14. Bowman has premiered 15 award-winning animated short films at San Diego Comic-Con each year for the past 10 years. Her shorts feature the voices of Joe Mant
Joe Mantegna.
Thank you. I know who that is. I could see his face in my mind, but that pronunciation's hard. Um, Tom Kenny, June Foray, Debi Derryberry, and Stella Ritter, in addition to other voice actors on the autism spectrum. Knowing the special talents of people with autism, Dani employs others on the spectrum at DaniMation Entertainment as musicians, artists, and voice actors. Dani utilizes her six passions of autism advocacy, public speaking, animation, illustration, fine and visual arts, and teaching animation to show young adults on the spectrum and with other disabilities that anything is possible and inspires them to leverage their unique ability. Dani's team of students won the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge for Best Editor in 2021. Dani graduated from Woodbury University with a bachelor's degree of fine arts and animation, followed by a master's degree of business administration in management and leadership, also from Woodbury University. Dani is currently on the cast of Netflix Love on the Spectrum US. Um, Dani Bowman, welcome.
All right, thank you so much, Kendra. I'm so excited to be here for this Clark College art talk. So, art has always been more than something I make. It's how I think, how I communicate, and how I make sense of the world. Before I had the language to explain who I was or how my brain worked, I had images, movement, and stories. Today, I want to share not just finished work, but the process behind it, the missteps, the questions, and the moments where identity, creativity, and advocacy quietly intersected and reshaped my path. Ever tried juggling? Now, imagine juggling an animation studio, teaching animation to students with autism, traveling to speak at events, managing social media, filming for Love on the Spectrum, and trying to have some personal life all at once. That's my life. And at DaniMation, I help people on the autism spectrum turn their passion for animation into careers. But let me be clear, I didn't get here alone. It took support, it took champions, and it took professionals to recognize that early encouragement and belief can shape a neurodiverse individual's entire future. Today, I will share my personal journey of resilience, triumph, and self discovery while growing up with autism. From an early age, I moved through spaces that weren't built for how I think or communicate. Rather than being understood, I was often underestimated. Over time, resilience didn't come from pushing harder, it came from finding tools, languages, and creative outlets that allowed me to work with my brain instead of against it. Throughout this talk, I'll reflect on the barriers I encountered, the strategies that helped me navigate, and how creativity became a bridge between identity and self advocacy. This isn't just a story about perseverance, it's an invitation to reconsider how we value difference and to recognize the insight, innovation, and depth neurodivergent individuals bring to our creative communities. By age 4, my aunt was still in the dark about autism. Picture this: My aunt standing behind me, shouting my name to the heavens. Danny! But guess what? No turning around. Why? Because I was immersed in my own little world, completely oblivious to anything happening around me. Aunt Sandy, perplexed, began to wonder if I might be deaf. My mom knew I wasn't deaf and told her, "Oh no, she can hear just fine. It's just that she has a thing called selective hearing." To drive the point home, my mom orchestrated a little demonstration. She popped in a VHS of my all time favorite animated movie from across the house, turned the volume down, and guess what happened? Like magic, I heard it and came running. Unbeknownst to my family at the time, animation became the key to unlock my world later in life. After 5 years without a diagnosis, my parents finally sought help through the school system because I wasn't speaking. At first, the experts told my family I would grow out of it since I was a girl. And back then, the belief was that girls don't get autism. But here's the thing, I didn't grow out of my autism, I grew into it. Autism isn't something you outgrow. With the right support and guidance, we learn to work with our diagnosis as we mature. How well we manage often depends on the dedication of the clinicians, the professionals, and the families that work with us. Later that same year, after many appointments with different clinicians, the experts flipped the script of my diagnosis. Girls can really have autism. They dropped the bomb that I might never speak, make friends, or amount to anything because I had the A word, autism. Cue the dramatic music. They made it sounded like a horror story, scaring the living daylights out of my family. Majorly. In meetings about my diagnosis, I remember how the clinicians would speak to my family as if I wasn't there. Because I couldn't speak, they assumed I couldn't understand. But guess what? I understood everything. They painted a grim picture I might never finish high school, go to college, or make friends. Even after my diagnosis, I was left in the dark about what autism truly was. No one explained it to me. I was just told all the things I couldn't do, but that only fueled my determination to prove them wrong. It would have made things easier if someone had simply explained what autism meant. People often wonder how I, an animator and entrepreneur with autism, reached where I am today. How did I start my animation company at just 14? Who supported me in this journey? And why is my mission so important to me? I didn't start speaking until I was almost 6 years old, but my love for animation was already in full swing. Animation wasn't just a hobby for me, it was my destiny. I was like a kid in a candy store, except the candy was just pencils and paper, and the store was my imagination. My passion grew for animation grew as I delved into every aspect of the production process, from development to post production. However, as I grew older and entered university, I became aware of the challenges I might face in the animation industry as an openly autistic individual. The statistics were daunting, and my communication and social skills presented additional hurdles. That's when my mission evolved. I didn't just want to build my dream animation studio, I wanted to make a difference. I realized that many like me on the autism spectrum shared a passion for animation, but lack of guidance on turning it into a career. So, I expanded my company's mission to educate, elevate, and empower individuals like myself. I wanted to bridge the gap between passion and profession, especially considering the barriers we faced. Animation has not only shaped my professional journey, but also defined me personally. It's a testament to the power of pursuing one's passion and breaking down barriers along the way. Cartoons have always fascinated me and made me feel comfortable because cartoon faces are easier to look at. compared to uncanny faces of real people. For me, as a person with autism, there has always been something magical about cartoons. They captivate me and provide a sense of comfort. Their faces, with their simplicity and expressiveness, offer a welcome contrast to the sometimes bewildering and uncanny expressions of real people. The vibrant colors, the diverse personalities, and the kaleidoscope of shapes and sizes in each character create a tapestry of comfort around me. But what truly sets them apart is the emotions etched on their animated faces, teaching me the language of expressions, how to be happy, sad, or mad. Growing up, my favorite cartoons were my tutors in the School of Emotions. They revealed the intricacies of facial expressions and nuances of body language, crucial elements in human communication that sometimes us on the spectrum lack. So you see, animation has always been more than just entertainment for me. It can be a vital tool in understanding the world. It illuminated the path of my neurodiverse journey, offering insights into emotions, expressions, and communication. Most importantly, my strong bond with animation combined with my experience with autism has given me a purpose in life. Embracing my differences became a reality when my aunt and uncle recognized my love for animation. They noticed the animations I created, just with MS Paint, Photoshop, and PowerPoint. While I had been doing this for a while, their attention marked the first time someone acknowledged my talents. Witnessing my potential, they invested in better animation tools for me, understanding that improved equipment could elevate my creations. They were the first to believe in my abilities, providing encouragement and support. Inspired by their belief, I decided to take a leap and start my own animation company. The start of DaniMation dates back to the second semester of 8th grade in 2009, when I was just 14 years old. Despite harboring the idea earlier, there was a lack of support and recognition. It all changed when I shared my ambition with my uncle, an entrepreneur himself. While he cautioned me about the challenges and hard work ahead, he didn't dismiss the idea. Instead, he became my guiding force, assisting me in registering the company name and creating the website. My dream transformed into a tangible reality. The journey has been indeed difficult, as he predicted, but the fulfillment and joy I derive from running DaniMation makes every challenge worthwhile. My aunt and uncle were not the only ones that helped change my life. I've been lucky enough to have had some champions in my life, and one of them was Joey Travolta of Inclusion Films, who runs a film workshop for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. He was my first client that believed in me and my ability for animation. He hired me to teach animation, first at his workshops and then traveling around the country at his film camps. The majority of his students expressed a keen interest in animation. At the outset, I was notably younger than his students, just 15 years old when his students were ages 18 and over. However, as I started, I began building confidence by gathering recognition as an animation expert, allowing me to share my skills with others. I learned how to meticulously prepare my curriculum, and the more I witnessed the satisfaction of my students, the stronger my desire grew to continue teaching. This enthusiasm ultimately led to a new and enriching experience. Teaching animation nationwide has brought me immense joy and a renewed energy to explore different parts of the world because I found when I focus on the needs of others, I don't focus so much of my own problems, and I also developed a passion for travel. This journey contributed to the development of my company's mission, assisting individuals on the autism spectrum like myself in transforming their passion for animation into a career. The ultimate goal is to provide a path towards sustainable, independent lives. Over the years, as I taught animation to students on the spectrum, I found myself receiving more invitations to events, traveling to more places, and establishing additional connections. According to Jim Collins from the book Good to Great, this phenomenon is referred to as the flywheel effect. It always begins with small victories, and the victories I achieve tend to accumulate over time. The same principle applies to my students. This led to opening many doors. First, to grow my company's mission to teach animation to students around the world and give students opportunities to showcase their work and paths to sustainable, independent lives. DaniMation is a neurodiverse-led animation business and leader in autism advocacy. And these bullet points are the overview of what we at DaniMation have accomplished in the past 16 years. We at DaniMation help educate, elevate, and empower the neurodivergent community by helping them learn how to turn their passion in animation into careers with our Learn as You Create formula. At our company, inclusivity isn't just a goal, it's our foundation. We firmly believe in recognizing and nurturing exceptional talent, regardless of how individuals are impacted by autism. Our mission is to enhance employability by harnessing students' passions, whether it's animation, writing, music, or voice acting. Through our program, we aim to empower students, showing them that they belong in the animation or film industry. We encourage them to dream big and think big, beyond perceived limitations, just like I did. We want them to understand that the sky's the limit. Beyond honing their animation skills, our students also develop the confidence to explore various career paths within the industry. Additionally, they gain valuable insights into the steps needed to achieve independence successfully. So, I would like to show you two clips from DaniMation. First, I'll show you the showcase of all the animation created by our students in a little music video, followed by myself explaining about how DaniMation works and a little bit about my life.
Well, what would you do with a brain if you had one?
Do? Why, if I had a brain, I could while away the hour, conferring with the flower, consulting with the rain. In my head, I'd be scratching while my thoughts were busy hatching if I only had a brain. I'd unravel every riddle for any individual in trouble or in pain.
With the thoughts you'd be thinking you could be another Lincoln if you only had a brain.
Oh, I will tell you why. The ocean's near the shore. I could think of things I never thought before. And then I'd sit and think more. I would not be just a number, my head all full of stuffing, my heart all full of pain. I would dance and be merry, life would be a king of dairy if I only had a brain. Gosh, it would be awful pleasing to reason out the reasons for things I can't explain. Then perhaps I'll deserve you and be even worthy of you if I only had a brain.
Hi, I'm Dani Bowman, founder and CEO of DaniMation Entertainment, an animation company that I've been running more than 16 years of educating, elevating, and empowering people on the autism spectrum by helping them turn their passion in animation into careers. You also may know me from the Netflix hit series, Love on the Spectrum. Long-distance relationship works with students on the spectrum. Students don't have to worry about going to an animation studio to take our classes. They can take our one-on-one animation sessions year-round from their comfort of their home, virtually through Zoom. We also do our own DaniMation summer camps. We help students create their 15 to 30-second short films from concept to completion, starting with storyboards, showing them the basic tools on our animation softwares we provide, and we introduce them to the 12 principles of animation and show them how they can turn their storyboards into the actual animation they want. We help 3,500 students on the spectrum be able to pursue their passion in animation as they learn to create their animation projects.
I can show you where to go, but I cannot take you there all the way.
As I looked back to my previous animation short films I did in the past, the audition felt so special to me. I could say that Mindy is inspired by many different aspects of my childhood. She symbolizes somebody who's remaining positive, and she tries to get everything done, even if the most really bad complications could happen.
Juggle this!
Autism was an affliction, it was negative, it was, oh, I'm sorry, your child has autism. Her mission, her platform, and what we want to do is show the positive, what she can accomplish, what people on the spectrum can accomplish, what they can do with the right support and tools.
What you see are all my awards from running my animation company for the past 16 years. I also love to do baking. Here is how I'm going to make the gluten-free, casein-free banana bread.
She's such a go-getter. She's not as scared of anything. She tries it. You want to do this, or can you do this? Yes, yes, I can try it. I'll figure it out. She's always has that mentality.
Now it's about time to put them in the oven.
The message is, and Dani says it quite frequently now, if there's a will, there's a way.
I bake to show my love, and especially for my aunt and uncle. So this is pretty much about my life growing up as a person on the spectrum and how it is and how DaniMation works. Now, let me tell you an example of a success story of one of my students from North Carolina, Peyton Hepler. When Peyton joined us in the spring of 2021 at age 15, her talent for animation and storytelling was immediately clear, though she struggled with communication and some aspects of the animation process. Fast forward 3 years, and her progress has been remarkable. Not only has she been accepted into college, but she also completed and premiered her animated short film, Isaac and the Firefly Queen, at the San Diego International Children's Film Festival at Comic-Con in 2024. Peyton's journey shows how individuals on the spectrum can thrive when their potential is recognized and their strengths are nurtured. Her story is a testament to focusing on what students can achieve rather than their challenges. Adding to this success, the original score for Peyton's film was composed by my good friend Keaton Bicknell, another talented individual on the spectrum who I'm known for 14 years. Last year, we at DaniMation have teamed up with Tara Strong's Voicelings to create a brand new dub consist of Tara Strong's students to redub the voice of the 3 main characters, and we premiered the dub at Comic-Con last year. Now here is the trailer to the redub of Isaac and the Firefly Queen.
Oh, that bug is trying to say something. What the? Who are you?
Greetings! I am Flavia, the Queen of the Fireflies. I can show you where to go, but I cannot take you there all the way. One more thing, Isaac. You must return by morning with the stone before the portal closes, or you'll be trapped in the enchanted forest.
Watching Peyton grow as an artist reminds me why representation and opportunity matter so much. As a matter of fact, this short film represents DaniMation's magnum opus. When we create space for neurodivergent creatives to be for their talents, not their limitations, real confidence begins to form. That same belief in being seen and understood didn't just shape my work as an educator, it also played a big role in my own journey, including a very personal chapter of my life on the show Love on the Spectrum. Looking back to what I have done over the years of traveling around the country, teaching animation and speaking at conferences, there was one most important challenge in my life: finding time to find love. And that is when the producer of Love on the Spectrum found me, asked if I would participate in a show that would help me find love. And of course, I jumped to the opportunity. All my life, I've dedicated myself to developing my company and working with my community, which has left little time for finding love. People I've met both on and off the spectrum often say they can handle my busy schedule, but then they quickly realize they become more frustrated when they realize how little free time I actually have. Most of my downtime is spent on animation related activities, making it difficult to relate to those who aren't interested in my passion. Back in 2019, Love on the Spectrum director Cian O'Clery reached out to me about a little show from Australia that aimed to help people on the spectrum find love. The moment I heard about it, I was ecstatic, and of course, I jumped at the opportunity. This was before the show was picked up by Netflix. The main reason I did it was because I truly just needed help to find love. So then I did my research and looked up the Australian version. I loved how it authentically and positively portrayed people on the spectrum finding love. Unlike other reality shows that focus on drama, this one felt real and respectful. Although I was a little nervous about filming and going on blind dates, the crew made me feel comfortable. They encouraged me to be myself, accommodated my schedule, and provided incredible support throughout the process. Initially, I thought the show would resonate primarily with the autism community, but it ultimately reached a much wider audience. I never imagined that this Netflix show would become as popular as it has, crossing over to the general public. The show beautifully demonstrated that people on the spectrum have the same wants, needs, and interests as anyone else, breaking the outdated Rain Man stereotype. It highlighted the diversity within autism, emphasizing that while our experiences differ, our basic needs remain the same, regardless of where we fall on the spectrum. On a personal level, this exposure raised the visibility of my company, DaniMation, allowing us to reach and serve more students globally. I am incredibly proud to have been part of a show that won 7 Emmys and achieved something I've spent my life advocating for, highlighting to the world our differences, strengths, and capabilities. And the story doesn't stop here. I have finally found love, and the takeaway is that finding love will happen when you least expect it. I'm here today because someone saw potential in me long before I could fully express it, and that's what I want to share with you. How your belief, guidance, and advocacy can truly change the lives of the neurodiverse community. So, the lessons I learned from my journey growing up are that my journey, just to let you know that my journey hasn't been a straight line. It's been a series of obstacles that shaped who I am as an artist and entrepreneur. With speech delays, communicating didn't always come easily for me. Art became my voice before the words ever did. Animation allowed me to express my thoughts, emotions, and ideas when speaking felt overwhelming. For academic barriers, traditional education wasn't built for how I learned. Instead of letting that stop me, I leaned into my strengths, creativity, visual storytelling, and persistence, and found alternative paths to succeed. Starting a business as a teen, what really means is launching a business as a young teen came with doubt, skepticism, and plenty of trial and error. I didn't have everything figured out at that time, but I learned by doing, adapting, and staying committed to my passion. And the one most important lesson I've learned is that nobody does it alone. Asking for help isn't a weakness, it's a skill. Mentors, collaborators, families, and community played a huge role in my growth. Progress happens faster when you allow others to support it. And here are my 3 most important key mantras I live by. Get out of your comfort zone. Growth doesn't happen where things feel safe. It happens when you try, stumble, and try again. Don't fear failure. Keep being creative. Every mistake is feedback. Every project teaches you something new. The only real failure is stopping. And what I tell to everybody, any naysayers, if they say you cannot do this or you cannot do that, I would say to them, and I would look straight at them and say, just watch me. Yes, I can and I will, just watch me. What it means is this isn't about proving others wrong, it's about believing in yourself. Believing in yourself enough to keep going even when the odds feel stacked against you. Every challenge I faced became part of my creative fuel. Those experiences didn't limit me. They shaped my voice, my work, and my purpose. And if there's one thing I hope you take and there is one thing I hope you can take away, it's this. Your journey doesn't have to look like anyone else's to be powerful. To everyone here today, knowing that autism didn't hold me back, it fueled my journey, giving me a unique perspective and passion. And now, I want you to leave with this. If we continue to challenge stereotypes, open doors, and celebrate neurodiverse voices, anything is possible. I hope my story inspires you to support individuals on the spectrum in finding their own paths because, just like me, future generations of neurodiverse people can turn those blueprints into opportunities. And this is something I would like to end with.
DaniMation.
If you would like to learn more information, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for attending, and a huge thank you to Kendra Larson for inviting me for this art talk. This is such an incredible event. For those of you who would like to learn more about my journey, I have provided a link and a QR code here. And I am very open, and I am open to a Q&A if anybody has any questions.
Thank you. It's wonderful. If anybody has a question and they don't feel like speaking, you're welcome to type it in the chats too. That was a really nice talk, Dani.
Oh, thank you so much, Kendra.
Sometimes it takes a few minutes for people to type, but maybe there's no questions either, because that was a really awesome talk with a lot of depth in there. Lots of things to
Thank you
think
so
about.
much.
Yeah. Oh,
And it looks like we
So we
have
got some questions here.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much,
Hi.
Kenneth. Hello. How are you
I'm
today?
wondering, what guides your animation style?
What really guided my animation style, I observed from my favorite animation artists. I was very inspired by many different types of animation artists and animation heroes, like Craig McCracken, Lauren Faust, Sylvain Chomet, Jamie Hewitt, and also I take inspiration from many different types of Nintendo inspired artwork, and even female artists like Dana Terrence, Darren Neckfee, and Rebecca Sugar, also one of my inspirations. I take a lot of inspirations from different types of artists that have really inspired my journey and my art style.
Cool, thank you.
All right, does anybody else have any questions? Oh, we have a question from Obsidian. Do you use After Effects for animation? Well, barely. Last time I did one of my I did one. Let me just rephrase it. I actually did a little bit of After Effects on one of my projects that I did at Woodbury University during my sophomore year. It was for Midnight Cowboys. It was a parody of the Midnight Cowboy, but it's a shark that is doing toaster pastries. I had to do one of these little animation challenges that was entirely done on Adobe Animate with a little bit of After Effects. So in most of my animation projects, I barely have touched on After Effects since.
Looked like Joe had his hand up too.
Ted is asking me another question. How many employees do you have? That's me. So we have a total of 7 employees. We have 7 instructors, including myself. And we also have Sandy and Patrick. So there's 7 to 9 employees here at DaniMation. All right, we have Joe raising his hand. So you have a question, Joe?
Yeah, I got like one.
All right. Great hearing from you, Joe.
Mm-hmm. Uh, do you enjoy like creature design?
Creature
Just
design.
asking.
Yes, I enjoy lots of creature design, though I do get amazed by some of my students have done a lot of does really good creature design, way more than I can imagine. And I do
Mhm.
appreciate what my students can do. For example, I have one of my students, Alyssa, who is really, really talented in creature design. I find creature design quite fascinating, though this is some we do work and collaborate with students that have really good creature designs. If if I need to find a creature that needs to be designed, I would hire one of my students to create one of the best creatures.
Nice. I like creature design. It just feels really
Really,
nice to like
yeah,
draw little creepy critters.
it's really cool. Yes, like insects or dinosaurs or dragons, you name it.
Yeah, yeah, that's all. That's all I
Mhm.
wanted to say.
So, Ted asked me another question. Do you sketch on paper? Well, barely, a little bit. Sometimes I sketch on paper. Other times I mainly sketch on Procreate, or other times I use Toon Boom Harmony just to sketch out my ideas. I mainly go 85% digital when it comes to most of my animation production process and ideas. 85% digital, 15% hand drawn. All right, does anybody, okay, there's another one saying, any advice for students just getting started learning animation and find it challenging? So, that's a really good question, Kenneth. One of the most important things that students needs to learn about animation, I definitely do recommend trying out one of the very first a beginner's animation software. A number one would be Flip a Clip, which is free that the students can download on their phones and their iPads, and they have the most simplistic and easiest tools to use. And the best thing, it's free. It takes lots of practice on their phones. Flip a Clip is one of the best ones. And and then if they want to level up their animation game, try out Toon Boom, Procreate Dreams, or ToonSquid, or any software that you can move up to the next level if you want to strive for animation, actual studio-based production. All right. So there's another question saying, I from Obsidian, he says, I have been struggling with knowing how to implement the principles of animation. How do animators figure out where to use them? Well, it takes lots of practice. Alan Becker, the famous YouTube animator, has the 12 principles of animation videos. You just watch it over and over again and take a look at Alan Becker's tutorials. And not only you could just watch one resource, have so many resources as much as you can to take a look at the animation principles, and don't forget to practice on the software of your choice. Okay, another question from Ali Galloway saying, what's your design process like? How do you came up with your designs? Well, it really depends on the client project. One of the most recent client projects that I did is for the Stanford Neurodiversity Project, and one of the goals is to create a fast and easier how to create animation that is fast and easy within a tight deadline. So I had to look for designs that are very simplistic, taking inspiration from different different animations that are very simplistic. So the design really varies depending on the client project. And so then it says, how about, from Kenneth, it says, how about advice for folks looking to start their companies? Well, starting an animation company or any type of venture is very tough. Like I mentioned, nobody works alone. It starts with having a team that trusts you, a family member, or a friend, or anybody that has one most important, that has a skill that is really great at someone who is great at finances, someone who is really great at social media. You might have to find pieces that would strive together to build the four legs of an animation business. Any business, not just animation. You see? And Kendra Lorson actually put in the link to the Alan Becker tutorials. That's the most popular YouTuber out there. And remember, and also one other most advice, you could start your YouTube animation career. You can actually start your animation career by posting your YouTube videos of your animations. You see? That's how you put your content, build a base.
I have a quick question. You said you travel a lot. Are there conferences or classes or anything that you would recommend to students?
Recommend for students, for anybody that is going to our animation workshops. We are doing the summer animation workshops at the University of South Florida in the first week of June by Arts for All Florida. This is called Animation Gets Real. I definitely do recommend going to the Arts for All Florida website at artsforall.org, and they have the program called Animation Gets Real. We do 1 week in Tampa and 2 weeks in Miami in person, and we have a virtual one as well. And if you're going to Los Angeles or to San Diego, we provide the Los Angeles and the San Diego camp location as well. So stay tuned for these for more information at our DaniMation website.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Are there any other questions? Okay.
Going once, going twice.
All right. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Dani. I really appreciate it. It's lovely meeting you.
It's really lovely meeting you too. And if anybody wants to come into, I'm going to put in the website, the link in the chat. Go to danimation.us and you get to learn more information. I also provide free introductory animation courses on select Saturdays, every Saturday from 11 to 1 Pacific. If you're interested in taking my free introductory animation courses.
And they're virtual, right?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much.
No problem. Anytime, I'm Kendra. And thank you for having me on again.
All right. Take care.
Thank you so much.